Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of TPS-TV. I'm Daniel. No, I kind of got like a Unabomber thing going on, just without the shades. Apologize for that. This week, we're going to get to... This movie came out a couple weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, and me and Angel went to go check it out. And yeah, I figured, you know what? Why not review it here? I am talking about Fantasy Island. That's right. The horror reimagining of the 1970s show about a magical island. Was the show magical? Or was the island magical on the TV show? Or doesn't matter, I guess. Fantasy Island. They turned into a horror movie. So let's get into that. First off, I guess I should go ahead and just say this right now. There is going to be spoilers in this review. I'll mention when I get to spoiler territory, so I can give my full review before. But yeah, there will be spoilers here, so you've been warned. All right, so I'll be honest with you. I was just kind of in the air on this one, leading up to when we went to go see it. Blumhouse, they're not always the greatest. Like they do some really good stuff, but they've also churned out some shit. This is from the director of Truth or Dare, which is one of those movies that, I mean, it was alright. I feel like it had a really cool concept, but this execution may not have been the best. The fact that Lucy Hale was back didn't really help that, because she was also in Truth or Dare. And not just that, but I guess it was PG-13. Now, I'm not one of those guys who's going to be like, PG-13, that's the only way to be scary. No, it's ridiculous. A good story will make a movie scarier or whatever, but I don't know. There ain't too many rated R movies that are scary. There just isn't. So you had all this kind of working against it. Not only that, but when you watch a trailer, it had like this kind of CW gloss to it, where you're just kind of like, this is clearly pandering to the lowest common denominator and like teen girls or some shit. Like, it looked like that. So I was just kind of like, whatever. But the idea of taking like some cheesy old 70s show and turning it into like a horror film, I like that. And it has Michael Pena in it. I'm a big fan of his. And Maggie Q. I like her as well. So it's just kind of like... And I like Lucy Hale. I don't want to shit on Lucy Hale. I'll as much as I want to bash the CW glossy look, I'm a huge fan of Pretty Little Liars. And that's where Lucy came from. So, I'm a fan by default. It just, I don't know. I had really low expectations here. Now, I will say this. And I guess I'll just get my review out of the way before we go right into spoiler territory. I like this movie better than I thought I would. Just the ending. Like, the ending was so fucking stupid that it does kind of detract away from the rest of it. Like, it's hard for me to really kind of look at the rest of it and go, oh yeah, this is really good, when I know what's lurking around the corner now. As a first time watch, I will say, and I guess I'm going to spoilers right now, so there's my review. It was better than I thought it would be, but still weak sauce because of the ending. Like, the ending really did hurt it quite a bit. When I went into this thing right off the bat, it just seemed like, my God, the writing was horrible. Like, every character was just spouting off, like, here's my backstory. I'm just going to say everything right here. It was just like, really? Weak writing. Acting was okay, which I'm not blaming the actors on that one, because once again, you can only do as good as the script, demands of you. But then as the story progressed, like, as we actually get into each character, they do fully get fleshed out, like all of them. You had 5 characters. You had Maggie Q and Lucy Hale, and then you had the brother and his Asian half brother, and then you had the other white guy. Those are your 5 main characters, or the characters on the island. And as the story progresses, you get a sense of like what each one of them, the reason they're there, what their fantasy is ultimately, and so. Throughout, as the movie progresses, and I won't hit it beat for beat, but it does kind of unfold for each of them, and it does kind of give them extra dimensions. Like, they're not just the one-dimensional characters they portray in the first 10 minutes of the movie, which may be just my fault for assuming that these were going to be the characters we're going to see throughout the film. No, it does so. I mean, I take back what I said about the weak writing. Like, it does eventually become really good. All the actors and actresses did great. Michael Pena is awesome, by the way. Like, I thought he just killed it as Rourke. Once again, spoiler territory here. And once again, I don't know about the original series, so I don't know if they had this fantasy element to it or not. Even though I know it's called Fantasy Island. Fuck off. A supernatural element, I should say. When you kind of find out the initial twist, or what you think the twist is, that, all 5 of the people on the island are connected. which that to me was like, all right, that's kind of cool. I wasn't expecting that. And it did kind of come out of left field and everything, and it worked. And then as it plays out more, because Lucy Hale, her big story arc is that she was bullied in school and she wants revenge on her bully. You see this in the trailer. And then, of course, when she finds out that it's not a hologram like we thought it was, like she thought it was, she ends up breaking it out and teams up with her. And, of course, throughout the course, you realize that this person isn't really the best person either. But once again, they're not just one-dimensionally written. Like, it really is a very well-written script. And so you start caring for all of them. And so they're planning to get off the island and all that stuff. And then when one of them gets killed, and I won't say who, I won't spoil everything, but when one of them gets killed, you're just like, holy shit, like, because it gets to like close to the end of the second act before anybody actually bites it. And I was honestly just like, well, this is going to be one of these like nice horror films where everybody gets off the island okay. And it's like, no, that's not the case at all. So it is like, holy shit, We get, to a finale of sorts, and you believe that they're all kind of gathered there because, somebody was wronged or accidentally was killed, previously, and you believe it's that person's mother that's pulling the strings and is getting everybody together. Like, why they just jumped and assumed the mother, I don't really know why, but they're just like, his mother must be after us. And so, and this is where the big spoiler comes, so, I warned you guys, it's lit. At the end, you find out that Lucy Hale is actually the one that's orchestrating. It's her fantasy. Which is like, what the actual fuck? Because the whole movie, she's saving people, she's, fighting back. And then for her to be like, haha, here's my plan all along, I tricked you guys. It's like, well, why'd you go through all that trouble? It's like, it had the convolutedness of like a Bond villain. Like, seriously, or like a more like a Batman villain. How like he puts Batman this ridiculous, like, guess what? Like, and we're talking about like 1960s Adam West Batman, like the villains on that show, where it's just like clearly, or even like Dr. Evil, like they even poke fun at that like in Austin Powers. So like the same kind of thing, where like literally her fantasy could have been like, bring them all here, I'll put a gun in each of their mouths while you hold them down and I'll pull the trigger, bam, one, bam, after bam, another. Just go through the fucking line and kill them all. And they would have done it because this island has no morals. Like, it's Fantasy Island, no matter how sick and twisted your fantasy is, they'll roll with it. We'll do it. And she could have just done that. And she could have even done it like Hostile style. She could have had them all chained down. No trickery needed, just all chained down, and then she chainsaws them up and fucks them up, and it would have been a less compelling story, obviously, but it would have made more sense. Here, she's like running around the island, she's doing all kinds of crazy shit, and maybe that was part of her plan all along. She tells them ahead on, like, listen, I want to pretend like I'm a victim here, just to kind of, but it's like, you didn't need to do that. You literally could have just made your one wish, capture these motherfuckers, bring them to the island, and I will kill them. One after another, movie over. No, she does this ridiculous convoluted plan that blows up in her face pretty fucking quickly. Like, it doesn't take long at all for them to kind of outsmart her, and you're just like, well, that's what you get, you dumb bitch. Like, what the fuck? Like, what was you really thinking there? I don't know. It's just, like, as it's happening, as it's unfolding, and that's like the big reveal, like, ooh, it was me the whole time. I'm just like, why? Like, why? Why would you save the person just to try and screw them over again? I guess the thrill of like, I'm your friend, haha, now I betrayed you, now you know how it feels like, I guess. But then it gets to the other people. So the other people who are connected, because what it was, she was going to go on a date with her boyfriend. Or not even her boyfriend, just the guy she's going to go on a date with. I think they even mentioned like they only dated once or something like that. So I mean, not even a real connection, but that's, Lucy Hale's supposed to be psychotic or whatever. And so what happened was Maggie Q leaves a teapot on, it accidentally catches fire. The fire spreads, it kills the guy upstairs. Now, she heard him scream, but she leaves, and that's what she's guilty about. The cop did not go in to save him, which is, he's on the island. Which, how Lucy Hale know any of this? Like, did they all give interviews with the paper where they're like, yeah, I heard the guy screaming, and I just decided not to go in there? Or, yeah, I could have went in and tried to save him, but, I was like, fuck that, I'm going to stay out here. And then his friends decided to leave him behind because they didn't think he was there. They're just like, no, he's not here, he's out on date, and they run away. Once again, like, how would she know which ones to get? It just seems like, maybe Maggie Q. maybe the police determined, or the fire department determined, like, yeah, the tea kettle is what caught fire. Shit, she's guilty. Okay, but the cop, it's like, how would she know the cop had a chance to run back in? Because I feel like, wouldn't he be a disgrace officer, and would he not remember Maggie Q when they're just like, oh, by the way, you had a chance to run in? Like, did he tell the papers that? Like, yeah, I had a chance to go in there and save him. I didn't do it. I was scared. I'm a coward. I keep my job. I'm okay. And I'm on island vacation next year. Like, no one would know that but him. And maybe Maggie Q, I'm not sure how that works out, because she was in like she redid it, so she was able to kind of relive it. She still couldn't save him or whatever. So maybe she didn't even see him. So once again, it made no sense why the cop got dragged into any of it at all. So, you know, she does this whole thing, and then once again, everybody gets a wish. And it's one of those things where, like, Michael Pena's like, because, you know, when you drink the water, you get your wish. Now, I should note that the brother and his Asian half-brother, it was the white brother's wish that they come to the island and just have a crazy orgy or whatever, and that was his wish. So then when they're all around there, and you know, it's the main characters and the bully girl, they're like, well, she didn't get a wish yet, and then of course she wishes that Lucy, and it's just like her wish is like, I wish you'd stay here with, you know, your dead boyfriend or whatever, or join him or something like that. And that's kind of convoluted too. Like, why don't you just say exactly what you mean? Like, I wish he was dead, and I wish someone would just put a bullet in your head right now. That could have been easier. Luckily, it works out. You know, dead demon comes out of the water, pulls Lucy Hell in, whatever. Anyway, I won't go through everybody who gets killed, who lives, but whatever. The last few survivors go off the island, and the Asian guy is about to go off, and Michael Pena's like, oh, by the way, you still got a wish. And I'm like, why didn't you fucking say that before? Like, you could have like gave him this wish before, but we get a pretty sweet ending out of it. Sorry. We get a pretty sweet ending out of it, and it does end on a pretty fun note. Like, fuck, I've already spoiled everything else for you. Like, you find out that the little Asian guy, you know, his nickname was T, and no one knew why they called him T. Like, he has another name, it don't even matter, like Brandon or some shit, like, no one cares. But everybody called him T, and it's because when he was drunk in college, he got this tattoo that just says tattoo. So whenever Michael Pena's like, what should I call you? He's like, well, my friends call me T. Why do they call you T? Tattoo. He's like, oh, you're tattoo. He's like, oh shit, that's how Rourke gets tattoo. That's awesome. But then it's like, well, how are you gonna? You couldn't sequel it, right? Like, this is a horror movie. Obviously, it was marketed as a horror movie. It was marketed to horror fans. You can't just do a wacky buddy comedy after this, right? Like, they couldn't just jump genres, bring Michael Pena and that little Asian dude with him, and do a second, like, Fantasy Island 2, but this time, instead of it being horror, it's going to be comedy set on the tropics or whatever. Or even fantasy. Like, I couldn't see Blumhouse doing that, but at the same time, it'd be ridiculous to think that they're going to go horror again, because it's just like, this is what it turns into? Like everybody's fantasy, deep down, they just want to murder people? Like, it wouldn't make sense. It would not make sense. But who knows? I don't know. Either way, like I said, when I walked out of there, it left too many questions where I'm just like, yeah, this wasn't very logical at all. Which I know not every horror movie has to be logical, but we're in an age now where everything kind of does. Like, you can get away with that shit back in the 80s. We just laugh at it, like, oh yeah, that's funny because, you know, who cares? Now it's like, no. Now we got like YouTube videos that pick apart and dissect movie flaws from the 80s, so we don't do that shit anymore. So it just seems like it's a smarter crowd, or at least a smarkier crowd. And anyways, so yeah, I don't know. To me, it just I left the theater going, was that a good movie? Not really. It was enjoyable, but I couldn't really see myself really watching this again. Even though they're promising a uncut version, or like, you want to see the unrated version? Like, not really. Because I saw the unrated version of Truth or Dare. Guess what they cut out of that? They didn't cut out too much gore. They didn't cut out titties. They cut out like teen drinking. Oh shit. That's what they cut out. They're like, that's too hardcore. They can't have a beer. Take that shit away. And I didn't think about it. You don't even notice it when you're watching the movie, but then you watch the unrated version and you're like, well, what did they even cut out? I had to look it up. I had to go to moviecomparison.com, or where the fuck that one thing is, where you see a difference between like what the difference is. It was just like, they cut out a second of this character drinking a beer. And then 2 seconds later, they had to cut out another second of another beer. So it's like, what the fuck? And here, the only thing I noticed is during the party, the Asian dude like takes a bong hit, but you don't see it. So I'm guessing the unrated version's like, you can see all the bong hits in this movie. Fuck off, Blumhouse and your PG-13 bullshit. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I will not see myself buying this anywhere down the road. Ultimately, it was forgettable. I'm sure a year from now I'll be like, Fantasy Island, I don't remember much about that. I remember Michael Pena was cool. That was it. That's all I remember from that movie. So, I don't know. If you guys seen it, let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. And that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Until next week. Oh, shit. Didn't always run. Sorry. Hi. Thank you for watching that video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up. Share it. Subscribe to our channel. All that good stuff you do right here on YouTube, go ahead and do it. Check out our other videos. Go to our playlist. We got episodes of TPS-TV, Journey Through the Dark Side. We got a new show coming out, the horror movie review with Daniel Richardson. This guy. And of course, our short film, Entropy. You can find all that and more right here on YouTube. And then check out, yeah, look at that. All of our social media right there. And we don't just, copy and paste like the same post and put it on all. No, that's ridiculous. 3 different platforms, 3 different posts. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff you see on Twitter will not be the same stuff you see on Instagram. So there you go, right there. So be sure to get on, give us a follow and a like on all that right there. Keep up to date. Have you seen Unspeakable Acts yet? No? Come on. Pick you up the DVD right now. Links over there. Oh yeah. It's only $7. $3 shipping and handling. And of course, if you've already seen it and you haven't seen the Public Domain Dungeon yet, boom, $5 DVD right there. So 5 S&P as well. Or sorry, 3 S&P as well. So there you go. Do that. And if you got the spare change, you want to hit us up, donate a little bit over here to TPS Productions. Our Patreon is right there. Oh yeah. So that's all we. Oh my God, sorry. I'm getting fired, ain't I? God, that's all we got. Thank you for watching.